A very uncharacteristic start for Mitchell. Usually doesn't ever fall behind 3-0.
Here's the windup and the 3-1 pitch. Now it's way outside, and the first batter gets a free pass to first base. That's Brazo. So the batter will be James Ray. Craig defensively. Clark Schmeling will do the catching behind Wolfley. Gavin Keelan's at third. Dan Blomgren at short. Jacob Hessling playing second. Micah Overlay at first. The outfield left to right. Tresson Kussmaul, Eric Hughes, and Tegan Christensen. So here's James Ray, the big righty second baseman. Runner on is Brazo over at first. He squares to bunt. Pops it up in the air. Keelan's going to get it, and there will be no play at first as Keelan was sprinting in from the corner. And a poorly executed bunt by James Ray.
Yeah, with these two pitching and the conditions the way they are, I'm not surprised that you want to play a little small ball early to try to get a run across. But like you said, a very bad execution there by Ray. Just you got to get that bunt down. You got to give your runner a chance to at least get to second. Keelan had an easy play there.
Here's Ryan Taylor, the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
I think each team gets 15 minutes of infield, and I think Verona cut theirs in half for whatever reason, and that's why the early start.
Okay. Well, I know these baseball games and the basketball games lately over the last few years, everything wants to get going.
Well, that's just it. Kids
don't want to wait.
I mean, how many throws do you want to make across the field at first when it's this cold? You just want to get into the actual game and start playing.
Taylor fouls one back to the netting, and it is 0-2 now to the Verona shortstop. As Wolfley comes set, here he comes, high with the ball.
And that's kind of been Wolfley's MO through the years. Not the years, he hasn't been there that long, but I mean, as long as he's been up on varsity with Craig, he may the first time through, but falter a little bit, but he seems to get stronger as the game goes on. And, the miles per hour on that fastball heat up a little bit, and hopefully that's what we'll see today as well.
Ooh, 1-2, just misses. This is outside
That's
Schmeling.
a good pitch that I think he's going to say, I got to have that call.
Schmeling had it framed very nicely. He was setting up on the outside of the plate. And Wolfley hit his spot, but it evens it at 2-2 to Ryan Taylor.
And I didn't hear it, but Vic's favorite expression on a call like that is, come on now.
Popped up. Infield, right in front of Wolfley, and he's calling for it, and he's got it right between the mound and the plate, and there is 2 down now on 2 pop-ups.
Yeah, good pitch there from Wolfley. Got Taylor way out in front of it and really nowhere to go with it, but pop it in the air, and that's what he did. And 2 outs, and Brazier who's still at first, and again with 2 outs and your cleanup hitter up, maybe a chance here to test the arm of Schmeling.
John Ferguson will now be the batter, the first baseman. First offering from Wolfley is high. He's been a little all over the place.
He has been, and sometimes that wild erratic is
maybe reminiscent.
Yes, can be effective as well.
Could be the conditions we're throwing in today. We'll see. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
I will say the park is greened up, so
yes, it is.
Compared to last week's doubleheader with River Valley with Parker.
Well,
a lot greener.
Yes.
No ivy yet on the walls, but
we'll get some warmer temperatures. That'll start happening. 1-1 the count to Ferguson. Here's Wolfley's offering. High fastball, throw down to first, and a swipe tag by Overlay, and the runner is back.
Right call, but Overley's got to get to the bag.
Yep.
Tough to make that play, reaching behind you and trying to tag a guy. If you're on the bag, all you got to do is set the glove down. So something they can work on, but a good try there.
Yep. 1-2 now the count on Ferguson. Decent lead over at first for Brazo. Here's the pitch as Ferguson waves at it and fouls it way back.
That's got your car.
I don't know where you could park here where you're not in danger besides down near the river.
Well, that's true. A lot of activity on the river today.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see. Looks like they got paddle boat races going on.
1-2 to Ferguson. And here it is. High fastball, and Ferguson laid off. Evens it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down here in the top of the first. Runner on first for Verona.
Cougars up to, I think, gosh, I just wrote a story on it. You think I would know. I think they're up to 4th in the state rankings.
Okay. Now, that's the coaches poll, or
coaches, West Preps, take your pick.
Because Baseball Central was just BaseballCentral.com was just released, and they're up to 2nd behind Wanakee.
Wanakee, and I think in the other one I saw it was Green Bay East or Preble, or one of those was number 1 based on, again, kids they had coming back, and that was kind of what I wrote about earlier in the week is, it's really tough for somebody down in this area to know how good Bayport or Superior somebody is. So
2-2 pitch from Wolfley. Grounder up the middle, diving stab. Hessling can't get it. It's off his glove, and the runner will reach. Tough play for Jacob Hessling, but that's got to be an infield single.
Base hit, and then I think if Jacob had to play that over again, he would try to get in front of it. He made a backhand, and he might have had.
I think he stumbled a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did too, because I think he had time to set himself and get in front of it, and maybe not get the force out at second, but certainly have a chance to get the kid at first. But in the meantime, you got first and second now, and an early bit of a jam for Mitchell Wolfley. Let's see if he can work his way out of it.
So for Nick West, the third baseman, a lefty, runner in scoring position at second, and Brooks Brazo. And now Verona in a little bit of business with 2 outs. Wolfley's first pitch is in there for a strike.
Cougars, this is what, game 6 for them? Is that right?
Correct.
And they've given up a total of 8 runs.
Craig is 5-0 and 3-0 in the Big 8 Conference. Verona comes in at 4-1 and 3-1 in the conference, with the only loss to Middleton this past week. And West awaiting Wolfley. Nobody holding at second. There's another strike. He's hit that spot twice now in a row.
He has. And now we'll see what Pat Campbell wants to call here, 0-2. And, with guys on base, it's a little different when you're trying to throw stuff in the dirt to get people to chase, because you don't want anything getting behind the catcher. But we'll see if he goes after him here and tries to go off speed and get him to chase.
Wolfley staring into the mid of Schmeling. Now he has what he likes. Comes set out of the stretch. Here it is. Runner goes right back up the middle and through Wolfley. Verona's going to get a run, and it's going to be 1-0. And Hughes overruns the ball. Still can't get it. And now there's runners at first and third with 2 out, and Verona with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, nice job of hitting there by West. Probably not the pitch Mitchell wants to throw 0-2. Again, we talked about making him hit your pitch, and that was too good of a pitch to throw 0-2, and West stroked it up the middle, and the Wildcats have an early 1-0 lead. And again, kind of an auspicious start.
Give an error to Hughes.
Well, he was going. I think
he
was going on the advance.
Okay.
So I'll just go. He'll go first to third on the hit.
Okay. So no error on the play. First and third now for Jacob Kisting, the pitcher, batting in the 6th spot in the lineup. And Verona with the lead. Wolfley, a little bit down low for ball 1. That was a hot shot right
That was
Mitchell.
Like I say, I think that's one pitch. When we talked to him afterward, when I talked to Mitchell afterward, he would probably love to have that one back.
Here's the 1-0. And another throw down to first, and Overly has to come off the line to get that one and make a diving attempt from Schmeling.
And even with Christensen backing up, if that ball gets by
that's a run
Overly,
easy.
that's a run easily. So then it's 2-0. So I like the call, but I think right now I just want to concentrate on the hitter, get out of this inning, and kind of regroup. You got those first inning jitters out of the way. You gave up a run. I think if you're Craig, with the amount of runs they've scored, I don't think they're going to be too worried about a 1-run deficit.
2-0 count. Here comes Wolfley. Down low again. Now it's 3-0. And the right fielder, Sam Pedersen.
2-1 were corrected, I guess.
2-1, okay.
So, yep, 2-1. So
I didn't see it. Oh, that probably one on the throwdown might have been a strike. 2-1 pitch. That's down low. And the runner goes.
He doesn't know what to say.
No, and the runner breaks for home, but they got him at second on the throw down. That's was
his fault. That's the first bases coach. He's got to let him know what the count is.
We're going to explain that one.
Doesn't matter what it says anywhere else. He's got to know the count.
Nevertheless, Verona with 2 hits in the inning, 1 run, no errors, and 1 man left on base. When you go to the bottom half of the first, Verona has struck first. It's 1-0 Wildcats. We'll return after this. Bottom of the first inning here at Riverside. And just to kind of recap what happened there, we thought, at least I did, it was initially a 3-0 count, and the ref and the umpire corrected to a 2-1 count. And on the next pitch to Jacob Kisting, Nick West took off because he thought that it was a free pass, and he was jogging down to second base, and the throw from Schmeling got him. And before that, John Ferguson, who was at third, broke for home, and he didn't score because West was thrown out at second. So it was just a case of not knowing what the count was and not knowing what the situation was, and Verona got bit.
It's a case of scoreboard watching. Can't be doing that. I mean, it doesn't matter what's on the scoreboard.
Right.
It's all based on what the home plate umpire puts up, and we both saw him put up 2-1 as the count. Mm-hmm. We thought it was 3-0, but he did put up 2-1. And that's all you got to go on. But your first base coach has got to help you out, too. I mean, he's got to say, okay, it's 2-1.
Yep.
It's not 3-0. And he kind of lollygagged down to second. Then he realized, hey, the ball's in play, and throw beat him.
So now the leadoff hitter will be Eric Hughes for the Cougars. Kisting's first offering is in for a strike. It'll be Hughes in center, Clark Schmeling, the catcher, batting second. Dan Blomgren will hit third at shortstop. Micah Overly at first, batting fourth. Tresson Kussmaul batting fifth in left field. Ryan Herbst, the DH, will hit sixth as Hughes takes another strike, and it's quickly 0-2 from Kisting. Gavin Keelan, the third baseman, will hit seventh. Tegan Christensen will bat eighth. He's in rights, and Jacob Hessling, the ninth hitter, is playing second base. Curveball and a swing and a miss, and Hughes goes down on strikes. And there's one out in the bottom of the first with Craig down 1-0.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Those
say.
are three quick pitches. You know, Kisting not going to blow anybody away, but that was a very good off-speed pitch. Got Hughes to chase a little bit. We haven't seen that much this year.
No.
Eric's been Craig's probably most consistent hitter all season, but a good sequence there and a good start for Kisting.
Curveball drops outside for ball one.
And I think that's the thing with Verona that, you know, when they can go with Clawwood number one and Kisting as their number two, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch, especially if you can get to that sectional day where you're playing back-to-back games.
There's a strike taken by Schmeling. 1-1 the count, one down here in the bottom of the first. Chilly day here at Riverside. That one right down Main Street as well. Kisting is all over the strike zone.
Not messing around,
Nope.
going right after the Craig hitters, and I think Vic will tell those kids because they get together after every half inning and just say, guys, if he's going to throw strikes, we got to be aggressive. You know, don't get behind in the count.
1-2 count. There's a curveball in the dirt outside, blocked by the catcher, Mason Fink. Kisting, tall kid, throws out of the stretch instead of the windup with the bases clear. Some kids like to do that. And here it is. That one down low for a ball. Gets by Fink. And now it's 3-2. And full on Schmeling, the catcher. One out. Craig looking to even the score. And the pitch. Swung on out of the over the strike zone, over the outer portion.
That was a stay alive swing
Yes, it
right
was.
there. Just put the ball in play. You're not trying to put it in play. You're just trying to fight it off and live to see another pitch, and hopefully Schmeling can draw a one-out walk and the Cougars will be in business.
3-2. High fastball popped up. It's going to get out of play over us.
Ooh, I heard some oohs.
This time that's probably...
That means it was close to hitting a car, but it did not.
Okay.
Is that what we've gotten to, where people are oohing and hoping that balls hit cars?
I think so.
That's mean.
I
Mean-spirited.
I think that was also a thing back in Little League.
It's all fun and games until it hits your vehicle.
That is true.
Then it's not so funny.
3-2 pitch again. And that's a curveball inside. And a free pass for Schmeling. Looked like a curveball that didn't want to curve
Didn't
much.
curve, no. Not much late break on that one. And Cougars got their first base runner. And
Schmeling aboard with a walk.
3-4 hitters up. The catcher thus far, it's only two batters, but having trouble hanging on to the ball.
Yeah,
And,
a little bit.
Schmeling runs pretty well for a catcher, so we'll see what the Cougars want to do here. If they want to play a little hit and run or just go straight steal, or maybe not either of the above and just let Blomgren's bat do the talking.
Dan Blomgren, the shortstop, finds a curveball and laces one right back up the middle, out of the reach of Ryan Taylor, the shortstop. He dives at it, but
Yeah,
it's just about a couple of inches away from his
it.
glove.
I think it got on him a lot quicker than he thought it was going to.
That was smoked.
I think he felt like he had a play, but by the time he got there, the ball was under his glove. So,
So one hit so far in the inning for the Cougars, first and second. Now, as Schmeling moves to second, and now it's Micah Overly.
and there's your Division I player in Blomgren, realizing the first two hitters, this guy's pounding the strike zone. I'm going to go up there, look fastball, and drive it, and that's what he did.
Outside corner fastball again, and Overly down to strike. Tresson Kussmaul will be the next batter.
That's the one problem about always being around the strike zone is you don't leave much to debate. You know it's coming, and good hitters will find a way to put it in play.
Here it is. Curveball swung on and looped foul right field side past first base. And now Fink is on his way out to talk to his pitcher, Kisting.
Yeah, 0-2, and probably tell him, hey, look, make him chase, make him get after your pitch. And my guess is you'll see maybe that curveball again. And Overly was way out in front of that one, and it did have some good movement. I think for a left-handed hitter, that curveball is really going to break in on him.
Nobody holding. There's a curveball again, and he swings over the outside of the plate, pops it up left field side, and it will stay in play or just get out of play. But
in no man's
nope,
land.
Can't really get to it. So foul ball.
Lands right where Chet Taylor used to keep the scoreboard back in the day, and sitting in his lawn chair down the third base line and not bothering anybody. And I think there's a plaque up here with Jake Sessler, not Chet. Jake, that's right.
0-2, still the count. And that one hit overly. So a base on balls, courtesy of the hit by pitch. And now the bases are loaded. Schmaling's over at third, Blomgren to second, and overlay aboard for Tresson Kussmaul, the left fielder.
So we've seen both starting pitchers get an 0-2 count on a batter and then make a pitch that they have no business making. Wolfley allows a single, the RBI single, and now Kisting 0-2 to Overly hits him. You know, those are the things you can't do.
1 out. And here's the pitch to Kussmaul. That floated outside, 1-0.
It looks like Verona has the same idea that you and I do, that runs are going to be at a premium today, so we're going to bring the corner infielders in, which they've done. Outfield to double play, but depth, but Kussmaul runs pretty well. Going to be tough to double him off.
Here's the 1-0 upstairs, 2-0. As Blomgren is dancing off second base.
Kussmaul and Blomgren both missed games last week with illness.
Yeah.
And, good to see him back.
Yep.
And that's the meat of their order. Your 3 and 5 hitters aren't in the lineup. That makes it tough.
2-0. Down low, grounder to third. Snagged by Nick West. Comes to the plate, and there's 1 out.
He dropped the ball, but it was on the exchange.
Yes, it was. So
they get an out there.
They get an out there on a fielder's choice coming home, and that couldn't have worked out better for Verona. Craig still has the bases loaded, as Blomgren is now at third. Kussmaul reaches first, and Overly is at second.
And that's where the strategy, paid off to perfection, because if he's playing back, by the time the ball gets to him, he doesn't get that runner coming home. But because he was playing even with the bag a little bit up a little even, the ball gets to him in a hurry, he comes home, and easy. Schmaling is an easy out at home plate.
So now Ryan Herbst, the DH, will be the batter. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up right field side, fading out into foul territory, but tracking and making the catch is Sam Pedersen out in right field, and the Cougars strike up empty with the bases loaded and 1 out. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base. Through 1, it's 1-0 Verona. Top of the second here at Riverside down at Veterans Field. A very green field for how cold it's been lately and the weather that we have received.
At some point this season, it'd be nice if we didn't have to look down and see stocking caps, gloves, mittens, blankets, hand warmers, everything else that's going on.
Maybe we get to the end of April and that happens.
I keep waiting for somebody to bring a fire pit down here and crank that up and,
not have the space heater in the box. So now Jacob Kisting gets a fresh count because he was in the box when Nick West was thrown out running to second. And now he swings at the first pitch, drives it to left. Back on it is Kussmaul, finally gets under it in left center and makes the catch.
Hit it well. I thought it would carry a little bit, but the wind blowing in and can of corn for Kussmaul out in left field.
Kisting is gone. Sam Pedersen now, the right fielder, will step in.
Up next for Verona, right fielder number 2, Sam Pedersen.
Wolfley has what he wants quick, and here he comes. Right down the middle for a strike.
And I guess I got to figure out why. I mean, I know there's Saturday games, but I think that's a doubleheader. But why there's random Saturday games?
Ooh, nice curveball that
block schedule.
Yeah.
Why they're playing Verona today and then later in the year. Yeah.
It's not enough weeks in the year to do a Tuesday, Thursday for every game.
Right.
Or for every team, I should say. 0-2. Wolfley came inside, even though Schmaling was set up in the outer half, and it was fouled away.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but that's too good of a pitch. You can't make that pitch 0-2. Yep. You can't put it in the guy's wheelhouse. He got lucky there. The guy fouled it off, but throw 1 or 2 away and make him go get him.
Curveball again, and it's fouled back to the screen.
And again, I know a lot of times for high school kids, it's tough to hit the mitt. You're not professionals or anything, but that's one thing, that he gets to the next level at the Air Force Academy, and that's something I'm sure they'll work with is, getting batters to hit your pitch.
0-2 pitch to Pedersen again from Wolfley, and he just swings and waves at that one. It's going to get out of play right field side. So it's still 0-2 to Pedersen. Mason Fink, the catcher, is due next. Craig and Verona Big 8 Boys Baseball, and I just saw an email from the conference. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, inside fastball, and Pedersen couldn't come around on it.
First strikeout of the day for Mitchell.
He goes down. I just saw in the conference email that it says that the Parker-Sun Prairie game has been postponed.
And I wonder if that has to do with officials. You know, sometimes, although if that's a planned game,
I mean, they moved it back.
Right. It went from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and maybe it's an officials kind of thing where they just can't find somebody 5 hours later. But I think they had to move it back because if you base it on 1 o'clock, which is 2 hours after game time, and the wind chill's not above 40, technically you're not supposed to play. So I think by 4 o'clock, you know, they'd have been okay.
There's a bouncer to third. Keelan has it. Strong throw over to first, and Mason Fink, the catcher, retired on an 0-1 count. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We are through 1.5 here at Riverside. Bottom of the second coming up. Verona 1, Craig nothing. Josh Goldberg, John Barry back at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. Wind is kicked up here a little bit.
It really has.
And it is a chilly day down here, but the kids are bundled. We're playing baseball. Bottom of the second, and Verona with a 1-0 lead. Craig due up here in the bottom half. And the Cougars will send up Gavin Keelan, the third baseman, Tegan Christensen, the right fielder, and Jacob Hessling, the second baseman.
Keelan has gotten his bat going the last couple of games with some hits. I know he had 3 hits against Beloit, the game that I had down here, and then a couple of hits against Parker as well. So, again, he's a freshman, verbally committed to the University of Louisville, which is one of the best programs in the country. So, you know, that's high praise, but I think he's capable of living up to it.
Well, first pitch is swung on and popped up shallow left. Back on just off the dirt is Ryan Taylor at shortstop, and he'll make the catch. So first pitch swing and 1 out for the Cougars. And now here's Christensen.
Coldest you've ever played a game of softball?
It's probably in the 40s.
Yeah.
I don't think it was in the 30s. I don't do that anymore.
Oh, I know, but it just seems that, you know, there's certain days you just don't want to play. I mean,
that never happens for me.
No.
I will play unless there is snow on the ground. I'll play in rain. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You're a gamer.
Well, don't get to get out that often. 1-0 pitch in for a strike and evens it up at 1-1.
You won't climb the light tower to change a bulb, but you'll go out in shorts and play in snow and rain. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
1-1 pitch. Here it is. Curveball. Big hook on it and misses inside to Christensen. It's 2-1. That's what they make that Under Armour chill gear for. Bundle it up and let's play. 2-1. That one's inside. 3-1 to Christensen. Verona with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Well, we talked about they were going to have trouble getting those senior portraits to stand up on this wind, and that seems to be the case, as they're having all kinds of trouble down there.
That one, a ball low inside, and Christensen works a walk.
Second walk given up by Kisting, and again, good speed on the bases for the Cougars.
For sure.
Hessling up.
Christensen, a multi-sport athlete, played some hoops and was a dynamite safety for Coach Bunderson's football team. Don't let the size fool you.
No, and I don't know, I haven't heard anything yet, but
there's a bunt squared down and pushed down first base side as Christensen was going.
I know each year Craig and Parker give out a Legion Award winner for, letters earned, and I would think Christensen probably, not saying he's going to win it, but certainly got to be under consideration because he's a very good 3-sport athlete.
Played spotty minutes in the basketball season, but really a really good defensive back.
Yeah, back-to-back years.
Yep, despite his size, but he stuck his nose in there a lot. Christensen dives back in as Kisting checks over on him. 0-1 the count to Jacob Hessling. At this point, those are going to be set up by the end of the game.
Yeah, they're going to have those ready for Tuesday's game.
0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled over the netting. And it's 0-2 to Hessling, the second baseman.
Oh, my son just hit a home run. I didn't notice. I was putting his portrait together, and the wind wasn't helping matters any.
2-2. Here it is. And that one hit him right in the back. Wow. Kisting has been ahead of some guys and has just not gotten it together to finish him off.
Well, we talked about Wolfley being able to get kids to chase, but it's tough to chase when it's hitting you square in the back. So
that was almost behind Hessling. Back to the top of the order. And Eric Hughes, the center fielder.
And again, I think Eric's going to be, that first at bat, not good for him. And he's been pretty solid as far as hitting the ball. I got to believe he'll be locked in on that first pitch if it's there.
Here it is. Down in the dirt, skips away from Fink. He's going to throw down to third. No chance to get Christensen. All he needed was just a little bit of an opening.
Yep.
And then Hessling goes to second. So second and third.
Second and third on a wild pitch. Nice job by the catcher there to block it. Got in front of it. But once it skipped and hit the ground, Christensen took off. So did Hessling. And the Cougars now takes that force out away. The infield looks like they're going to stay about normal depth. So they'll concede the run.
Here's the pitch outside. Pops away from Fink, but not too far. And in talking with Coach Herbst, he said in some of these tight games, you might look for a little bit of a squeeze here.
Yeah, I mean, it's small ball on days like this.
There's a swing and a pop-up in the infield, back behind home, and Fink has it, the catcher, and tough at bat for Hughes twice in a row as he goes down with a pop fly to the catcher.
Yeah, he won't be happy with himself because that's a situation where you got to put the ball in play and get one of those runs in, whether it's a ground ball to the right side of the infield, a fly ball to the outfield or something, because they're basically giving up the run. So just a matter of putting the ball in play. Got a good pitch, but just got under it as Kisting got him to chase a little bit, and that's what happens.
Clark Schmaling, the catcher, will be the batter. He walked and was thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice.
This is a big at bat for Craig because, the first inning you got bases loaded with a chance to score with one out. You don't get anything in. This inning, second and third with one out, and thus far, Hughes with a pop out. This is a big at bat. The Cougars, you hate to squander opportunities against good pitchers, and that's what they've had the first two innings.
Kisting comes set. Checks the runner at second. Here he comes to the plate. And that one in there for a strike.
Well, 0-2. And the last two times he's been 0-2, he's hit the guy. So maybe third time's a charm here. And
Schmaling 0-1.
You got your best hitter on deck. So
2 down. Runners at second and third. Craig with another chance for the second straight inning to try and push across a run with 1 out. Now they have 2 out. Kisting comes to the plate. That one, almost got away from Fink on a curveball that dropped way outside. 1-1.
It had a lot of late movement on it. That was a nice pitch there.
Yes, it did.
He gets that over for a strike. That's going to be tough to hit.
There's a hit in the air, right field side. It's going to be foul, and nobody can get to it. So we will do it again.
Wind got a hold of it, pushed it to the fence, and the right fielder just too far to go. And in the meantime, we still don't have one sign up yet.
Yeah, we do. They're over behind the dugout.
Oh.
I think we got maybe 1, 2.
We might have 1 or 2 up. Okay.
1-2 the count to Schmaling.
And there they go.
Oh, man.
Oh, not to make fun. They're just
glad they're there.
Yep.
That's all it is. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and hit to second to James Ray. He's down on it. Throw over to first.
Ooh.
Did he get it?
Oh.
Might have thought he had it trapped or not in his glove on the ground, but they secure the out, and Craig again comes up empty for the Cougars. No runs in the inning, no hits in the inning, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Boys baseball in the Big 8. It's Janesville, Craig, and Verona. Schmaling, second straight inning, has to go get his catcher's gear on late. Mitchell Wolfley on for his third inning of work, as Wolfley will face the bottom and then the top of the order, the 9, 1, and 2 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic start for the Cougars. They leave 5 men on base the first 2 innings, and usually they find a way to get those guys in, hence the 10 runs a game that they're averaging, but just thus far haven't come up with that clutch hit or gotten a break on a pass ball or anything like that. And the Wildcats have wiggled out of trouble twice, but I think that can only last so long before I think the Cougars can break through.
Wolfley stepping on the mound and delivering to Tyler McWilliams, the center fielder, and that's in there for a ball, I believe. Second offering from Wolfley, and that's down low for a ball. So he's behind 2-0 on McWilliams. And there it is, up the middle. Ranging to his left is Blomgren, and they secure the out. Nice throw on the run, and a good stretch by Overly.
99% of the time when the ball's hit to short, I just mark it 6-3 because Blomgren is so steady and so routine that he kind of makes it look easy, just like his brother Jack did, and he's a pleasure to watch, that's for sure.
So Brooks Brazo will be the batter. The DH walked and scored the only run of the ball game in the first. Outside corner, a strike from Wolfley.
And that pitch, I think, was a ball the first at bat when he was up, but hey, we'll take it. That's going to be a strike from here on out.
0-1. That one a little bit outside the zone. 1-1 the count. And here's the pitch. Swung on and roped, and a diving attempt made by Hessling to his right, and that's off his glove. And the batter will reach.
Tough play. I mean, it kind of tailed away from him. I'll give him a base hit. Sometimes maybe on a different day he catches that ball, but it squirted away. I think the two balls that we've seen hit hard up the middle, I think got on fielders quicker than they thought.
Sure.
I think that's what happens is you're not anticipating it to get to you that quickly.
Ball travels fast when it's cold.
Does.
Not a whole lot of thick air to slice through. So 1-1, or I should say opening pitch to James Ray. Did you call that a strike?
I think he did.
Okay. So it's 0-1 to Ray. One out, runner at first. So here comes Wolfley. Swung on and hit high to left.
That's going to be
Looks
foul.
like it's going to be foul, but giving chase is Kussmal, and he can't get there. And it'll be, I believe, 0-2.
Just like to send a note out if we've got any mechanical engineers listening. We could use your help down here as we try to get some signs together to hang up behind the dugout. Craig Mom's having a little trouble right now getting the signs to stand up, and anybody out there can come down and lend a hand. We'd appreciate it. They'd like to watch the game.
0-2 the count. And here's the pitch. Outside, barely.
Nope.
Oh, no,
he
he called it a
So
strike.
the other one must not have been a strike.
All right, so we're still at 1-2?
1-2 now. Yep.
Okay. One out. And a runner on first. Swing and a miss, strike three, and Ray goes down on strikes, and there is two away for the shortstop, Ryan Taylor.
Velocity-wise, that was the hardest pitch that Wolfley's thrown today. That was a good spot. Just couldn't catch up to it, and chance to work out of a one-out base hit.
So here's Taylor, a pop-up to Wolfley in his first at-bat. And the opening pitch, outside corner for a strike. Good setup by Schmeling. We're giving up.
Yep, the signs are going away. I don't blame them.
Thrown in the towel for today. Here's the 0-1. Now, one in the dirt, blocked by Schmeling. Runner stays put at first, which is Brazo.
And again, Pat Campbell, who, certainly can talk catching with anybody with the career that he had behind the plate. But he said Schmeling continues to work hard and is doing the right things to just become a better defensive catcher. And I think we're seeing that. He's working hard back there.
1-1 is up high for a ball. 2-1 on Ryan Taylor. John Ferguson, the first baseman, wants a swing next. He's got one of the two Verona hits. Wolfley out of the stretch. Here it is. Popped up. Infield. Blomgren ranging over to his right. And now under it, has to go back to his left a few steps, but he's got it. Got the catch, and there's 3 outs. So for Verona, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, but 1 man left. 2.5 in the books. Still Verona 1, Craig nothing. We'll return after this. John returning to Veterans Field for a tight ball game here so far. We're not through 3 innings.
Well pitched so far. I mean, Craig, again, have a couple of chances with 5 men on base, but Kisting and Wolfley both have made pitches when they had to.
So, and the bottom half of the third, Craig will send up Dan Blomgren, Micah Overlay, and Tresson Kussmaul.
Heart of the order for the Cougars. Time to get back to even or get the lead and let Wolfley do his thing the rest of the way.
Still on the mound is Jacob Kisting. And the opening pitch to Blomgren is in there for a strike.
Speaking of Pat Campbell and certainly the Janesville Hall of Fame banquet coming up,
Yep.
I assume you're emceeing again this year?
I will be the master of ceremonies.
I believe it's May 11th.
Yes, it is.
Tickets still available. It's a
Yes,
good class, too.
Yep. Here's the 0-1.
I believe
and
it's...
by Max Fink.
I know. It's
Fink
Pat Campbell.
Yep.
John Furr,
Yep.
Benny Guerra,
Sue
Sue McEwen, and Andy Meehan.
Yes.
So a good group. I know Ben Guerra's story going to be in tomorrow's paper. Tom Miller wrote that. The
Okay.
former Parker wrestler who was, I think, runner-up at state.
There's a smack wide of third, and Blomgren is 2 for 2 today with another single. And Craig with only its second base hit, both of them coming from Blomgren, and the leadoff runner is aboard for the Cougars for Overlay. Yeah, it's been fun the last couple of years doing this, getting to, hear the stories, meet some of the people.
Well, and I think, no disrespect to the James Performing Arts Center, certainly a nice facility, but I think since they moved it to the country club, it's much more conducive to, what they're trying to do, what they've got going on. You got some room and, Ray
nice
Martinez,
dinner program, yeah.
Dr. Ray Martinez, who was a year behind me in school, who's also a Hall of Fame member. He'll be giving the speech. His stepbrother Ben Guerra is being inducted. So a fun night. I know, like I say, tickets still available. I think Century on the west side. And
there's a hit to right and deep. Back on it and making a catch. Reaching out is Tyler McWilliams as Blomgren will move on to third after he stole second on the pitch before. But Overlay with a drive and moves Blomgren over on a fly to right center that was tracked down by the center fielder Tyler McWilliams.
Yeah, a month from now when it's warmer than this, hopefully, that ball, that's down for a double probably because that thing just hung up. That was hit hard.
So 1 out now for Tresson Kussmaul.
And here's what you talked about when you said that Vic had mentioned about, don't be surprised if you see a squeeze now and then. And this would be a great case for it right here. Kussmaul, pretty good bunter, and we know Blomgren runs well enough to get home. Verona bringing everybody up now. So Kussmaul had kind of in the same spot last time up and hit a grounder to third. The third baseman made a nice play, and we'll see if Vic's got anything going on here.
1 out, and here it is.
There
Smack
it is.
to base hit, and that'll drive in a run. Right center, and McWilliams is over there, but Kussmaul jumped on the first pitch, and he gets an RBI single, and this game is tied at 1 apiece as Blomgren comes in.
Yep, and it's what we talked about. I can guarantee you in between innings, Vic's telling these guys, look, he's throwing first pitch strike. Get up there and be aggressive. Kussmaul saw a great pitch today, hit that up the middle. Blomgren gets his base hit on the first pitch. And again, it's knowing your pitcher, knowing the situation, and really coaching, letting kids know, what to look for when you're up there.
So it's 1-1 with 1 out, squaring to bunt, and the runner does not go as now Ryan Herbst is at the plate.
And probably, between Christensen, Kussmaul, and Blomgren, I mean, those three can all run. I got to believe Kussmaul, just like Blomgren, he's going to be in motion here, and he'll probably be taken off in the next pitch or two unless they put something on as far as a hit and run with Herbst, who's, thus far has had a pretty good year.
0-1 pitch. Floats high for a ball. 1-1. With 1 out. Runner at first is Kussmaul. Checks the runner, comes set. And here it is. Runner goes. Throwdown is going to be in the dirt and backhanded, but no chance to get Kussmaul, and he's down to second with a stolen base. Second one of the day for the Cougars.
Can't beat speed, Josh. Just can't beat it. And got a good lead. Now, you talked about earlier, Kisting just more, I guess, comfortable not going out of the windup and just going out of stretch, but had a good lead, and his delivery to the plate probably not as quick as you'd like it to be, and that just gives you a little bit of extra time, and he didn't need it.
And here's a grounder to short,
I don't
having
think they're
to
going to get him. No
come
way.
over, and they throw him out.
Wow.
As Taylor had to go a long way in the hole for that towards third and made a tough throw across his body. And Herbst is thrown out barely over at first base, but Kussmaul moves to third.
Yeah, really a nice play there by Taylor. He had a long way to go and just barely beat the throw. I thought Herbst would beat that out, but looks like he might have got a little stumble coming out of the box, and that was the difference.
So 6-3 the put out. And now Gavin Keelan will be the batter. With a runner at third, Keelan drives one in the air right. Sam Pedersen back on it. It's going to be way over his head. And he gets it on a bounce. And Keelan with a 2-out double. And he's going to be hung up, and he's going to be caught and tagged out after he was going to go to third. But nevertheless, he scores the run.
Yeah, I don't think Keelan realized that the right fielder, basically the ball landed behind him, but he picked it up right away and got it back in. I think Keelan picked up Vic too late. That's what Vic's telling him right now. He says, you got to pick me up sooner than that. But still, a nice 2-out clutch hit from Keelan. Give the Cougars a 2-1 lead.
Josh Goldberg and John Barry back at Riverside for first of 3 games in about 5 days for us here on WCLO as Wolfley puts one in there, and that's high.
You better drink your tea and honey before you go to bed so that your voice is good to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
2-1 our score. And here's the pitch from Wolfley. Swing and a miss.
Just got word that the Parker Sun Prairie game that we talked about that was postponed at 4 o'clock today was because of weather. And we talked about it. The wind chill at 6 o'clock is supposed to be below 40, and so they can't play. But also understood that, that same forecast has the wind chill expected to be in the mid-30s for this game 2 hours after the start. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, if it's, if it's coaches or if it's not a set rule. It's just something that the team's got to agree upon. But that's the reason why Parker and Sun Prairie aren't playing, is because it's just deemed too cold to play.
All right. John Ferguson, the first baseman. And there's a chopper to short. Blomgren has it. Should be an easy play. And he throws him out. And there's 1 up and 1 down here in the top of the 4th. A 2-1 score now with Craig grabbing 2 in the 3rd.
And, I've seen it now the last couple of years, with Mitch Wolfley. When he has the lead, he's a different pitcher, Josh. There's just no question about it. He pitches with more confidence. He dials up that fastball a little bit. And now that he's got that 2-1 lead, this is when he really bears down and kind of takes over.
There's a pop-up foul right side, and I don't think it's...
Nope, out of play.
Nobody's going to get it.
Near the Verona fan section there, but just over the top of the bleachers. 1 out.
1 out.
West with one of Verona's 3 hits today, and a single back in the first, but was stranded at third base.
West? No, he was out at second.
Or he was caught stealing.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Ferguson. Yep, you're right.
On the bad play there.
But did have a hit. So,
yes.
Yep.
So far for Verona, 3 hits in the ball game. Nick West now with one of those hits, a 1-1 count and 1 down. That one drops low for a 2-1.
Umpires even bundled up today. Gloves on.
Oh, yeah, they got their
hats on. And
they got their masks and all kinds of stuff. It's a little chilly. 2-1. Outside corner, a strike. 2-2.
I always got a kick out of watching NFL games outdoors in December, January,
when
the head umpire wouldn't have gloves on. You're thinking, what are you doing? What's what they do with gloves now and how warm they can keep them?
That's popped up on the 2-2 pitch. Blomgren calling for that. Out on the grass, and he's got it. So he's made both plays. 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. 2 down for Jacob Kisting, the pitcher.
Hit the ball well the first time up to Kussmaul, but it just got caught up in the wind and died.
Play for Verona, pitcher number 21, Jacob Kisting.
So Kisting now will be the batter. And curveball started out for Wolfley, a little bit outside and low
And I was going to look. Like I say, I know Verona's got one loss in the home and home. They beat Middleton and then lost badly to Middleton, I think 10-3.
Yep.
And I was going to look and see who was pitching that game. I assume it wasn't Clawwater. I don't think anyone's going to hit him that hard. And I don't know if Kisting got to start that game or not, but I can certainly check, and maybe I can find a line score from that game.
1-1. Here it is. That's right over and in for a strike, and it's 1-2 to Jacob Kisting. Two down. Here it comes. Ooh, inside corner, and that's a strike 3 called on Kisting, and that will do it for Verona. So for the Wildcats in the fourth, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 3.5 completes. Bottom of the fourth coming up, and it's Craig 2, Verona 1. Back at Riverside Park for bottom of the fourth action here between Janesville Craig and Verona. And for the Cougars, they will send up Tegan Christensen, Jacob Hessling, and Eric Hughes at minimum. Cougars got 2 in the third, and they are on top 2-1.
Yeah, that second run coming on Keelan's, like we talked about, the well-hit RBI double, and you could see Vic go up to him right afterward when he got thrown out trying to get back to second because he overran the base trying to get his triple.
Christensen swings, and it's a one-hopper to third. West was playing in already and dug out on the other end by Ferguson for the first out. Good play on both sides.
And, in this run that Craig's had in the last decade or so with, the 3 state appearances, the state title, the conference championships, that's the one thing they've always been so solid is fundamentals. And it's little things like that it's certainly a teachable moment for Gavin Keelan. Not like he doesn't know any better, but, Vic just taking him and saying, look, you got to pick me up. Right when you're rounding second, you got to pick me up, and I'll let you know whether to get here, stay there, whatever it might be. So you like the fact that you got the RBI double, gives your team the lead, but it's also a moment that, tournament time and such, those things can't happen.
Jacob Hessling now stands in. He's ahead 1-0, now 2-0, as that ball floats around his chest. Hessling had a base on balls in the second inning and wound up stranded. 2-0 pitch from Kisting is outside, 3-0. Base is clear after Christensen's grounder to third to kick off the bottom of the fourth. .30 pitch. That's inside, but for a strike. Caught the corner. 3-1 the count.
We talked about it. Wolfley usually he'll take over now with the lead, but certainly a couple of runs aren't going to hurt anything either.
Here's the pitch. And that's
ball 4.
Ball 4. Can't really find out or see where that missed, but I think both the catcher and the pitcher, Fink and Kisting, weren't really sure either, but nevertheless, Eric Hughes will be the batter. Back to the top of the order for Craig Hughes. Has had a tough day.
Yeah, and which leads me to believe he's due because he's been so good at the top all season long. And, the K and a little pop-out to the catcher, now's when he's about due to drive one somewhere. And
I think,
close.
That was close. I thought they had him over at first. Good pickoff move from Kisting over to Ferguson, and I thought Hessling was done.
And when we've seen Hughes, hit the ball hard this year, it's been to left center, and right now there's a huge gap in left center.
Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Runner away from first. Hessling with a decent lead. And a throw back again, and this time safe easily. Clark Schmeling is on deck. Hughes trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Get some offense going for Craig for the second straight inning. There's a base hit to left. Good call, John. As Hughes smacks one to left, in on it is Joe Ducharme, who is not batting, but playing the field, and Ducharme gets it in quickly, so holding everybody to one bag, Hessling up to second, and Hughes is up to first.
Tough to keep a good hitter down. It's different when you're hit or miss as far as power and everything else, but when you're just a good contact hitter that puts a ball in play, you're not going to see a lot of offers, and that's why I'm not surprised that Hughes was able to find the green there, get a hit, and Cougars in business again.
Still one out. Runners at first and second now for Clark Schmaling. Schmaling with a check swing, but strike anyway in the inside corner.
Yeah, looking back here at it just says Middleton 7, Verona 3, but does not give any game details.
Okay.
So I don't know if Kisting was pitching that game or not. I know Klaubeter was not, because I know somebody had said that Klaubeter thus far had like a minuscule ERA. I think he'd given up maybe 1 run all year or something like that. So
0-1 the count to Schmaling. Here's the pitch. Curveball drops it nicely for...
Ooh,
I thought that
was a good pitch.
That was. But
again, it's tough to tell
it
from
is.
here. I would have to say, if anything, that had to be low.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It certainly was over the plate.
1-1. Now to Schmaling. Runners at first and second. Craig threatening. And low and outside for ball 2. 1 out. At second is Hessling. Hughes is at first. Craig with a 2-1 lead. Wouldn't mind some insurance runs going to the last couple of frames.
You know, it's the way Wolfley's goes, a 4 or 5-1 lead, you're in pretty good shape.
And there is a strike. Check swing from Hughes. He held up, but took it anyway.
And the last thing Kisting wants to do is load the bases with Mr. Blomgren on deck, because he's already 2 for 2 today and has hit the ball hard both times up.
So 2-2 count. And here comes the pitch.
Oh.
That one way over his head and behind him, and I'm surprised that either
didn't
hit him in the head or hit the bat.
I was going to say, that was so far behind him that he had his bat over his shoulder and almost hit the top of the bat, which would have been a foul ball, which wouldn't have been a good thing. But 3-2 here, and like I say, if Clark can find a way on here, the Cougars got a chance to break this thing open.
Full count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up to left. Back on it is Ducharme. He's going to get it, and there will be no tag. Strong throw coming in to the cutoff man. And again, good hold for Verona as the runners cannot advance, and Schmaling pops up to left field.
Yeah, that ball's hit to right field, and Hessling gets a chance to get to third, but that play was right in front of him. Nothing to do. It looks like Verona pitching coach, if they so have one, coming out, and now we'll do my favorite thing is
everybody get together.
Everyone in the entire Craig stands will convene at home plate to talk about dinner reservations tonight, what's good on Netflix right now, and more importantly, what can we do to get the senior portraits up next time and not have to worry about the wind taking them.
Well, the batter with 2 on is Blomgren, and he's 2 for 2 and has hit the ball very well. He scored, he stole the base, so this is probably a very good, hey, here's how we're going to approach this. Here's what you guys need to know.
Right. And I know, I listened to your broadcast the other day, I know Eric talked about, well, maybe he's telling, batters are saying, well, what pitches to look for in that? Well, right here, here's my best stuff, hit it, because Keasting's not going to do anything fancy. Blomgren, all he wants to do is put the ball in play. So
2 down, and Blomgren at the plate. Runners at first and second for Craig. Kisting still on the mound. Check second, nobody holding, and here it is. And that's up high for a ball. Bottom of the 4th here at Riverside. Just over halfway home. Kisting again to the plate, and Blomgren takes that for a strike.
1-1, and again, these are the kind of situations that Blomgren just thrives in. He just, this is what he lives for, is to be Mr. Clutch and come up in a situation like this, because he knows he's got a chance to really put his team in a good spot with a 3-4 run lead with your ace on the mound.
Curveball and a swing and a miss from Blomgren, and it's 1-2 now.
Kisting's best curveball he's thrown all day right there.
Blomgren
way out ahead of that one.
He's got some good hook on it.
Yeah, he does. Now, does he come with that again, or does he try to come high and tight with a fastball and get him to chase upstairs? We'll see, but I would come with that pitch again.
1-2, and here it is. And just a piece of it fouled it off inside.
And that was that fastball, so he didn't come back with a curveball.
That had some good velocity
on it. Yeah, it did. Tough to get pitches by Blomgren, though. He's pretty good about contact and squaring up. So let's hear if that was a setup pitch, and now he tries to go curveball outside and see if he'll wave at it.
1-2 the count. 2 down. And here it is. Runner goes, and Blomgren lifts it in the air to left. Ducharme's got to come in on it, but I think Taylor, the shortstop, is going to take it. And the Cougars strand some more runners. So no runs for Craig. They do get 1 hit in the inning. No errors, but 2 more left on base. After 4, it's still 2-1 Janesville Craig. Top of the 5th here at Riverside on WCLO Janesville Beloit, AM 1230, FM 92.7. Streaming online at WCLO.com and on the smartphone app powered by K&W Greenery. We'll have Brewer baseball for you a little bit later on this evening. Brewers and the Dodgers. Milwaukee getting that series off to on a winning note.
Watch that last
least.
night. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
8-10 first pitch tonight. And a bunt laid down by the first batter, Sam Patterson. Wolfley fires over to first, and they got him.
Nice play. Nice play all around there.
So Patterson retired.
Right idea by Patterson there.
Yep.
Just a little too far up the line, and Wolfley quickly off the mound.
Good job getting off the mound.
Nice play. Overly stayed on the bag, took a high throw, and 1 out.
So the catcher, Mason Fink, will now be the batter.
So again, not to make fun of the Craig mothers who were just trying to get the banners up,
Sure.
but a shout out to J&B Signs and Signorama because they were stayed up late last night to get those signs ready so that they could be put up today. And then unfortunately, the wind said no, not going to happen today.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, but hey, shout out to them for all the great work they
Absolutely.
do. Yep. They tried. Hey, we're going to let them know if they're not down here. They tried vehemently to get those signs up.
And they missed a lot of the ball game trying to put them up.
So it wasn't without great effort that those signs almost made it up.
2-1 the count to the catcher, Mason Fink, and a little squibbler off the end of the bat towards second. And Hessling's got it and throws over, and Fink is retired.
Although I don't think you could come back to them and say, hey, look, we almost got your billboard up, but we couldn't quite get it up the other day.
I don't think that'll work.
I don't think that works.
No. So 2 down quickly for Tyler McWilliams. Center fielder with a grounder to shortstop in the third inning, rather. And Wolfley's first pitch is down low for a ball. Top of the 5th here at Riverside.
Yeah, Wolfley dialed in now.
Yep.
That's 3, 5, 8. That's 12 of the last 13 he's retired.
There's a hit to right in the air.
Routine
Tegan
can of corn.
Christensen, 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Verona. 4.5 completes, and it's still 2-1 Janesville Craig. Back at Riverside Park at Veterans Field for the bottom of the 5th inning. And due up for Janesville Craig will be Micah Overlay, the first baseman, Treston Kussmall in left, and Ryan Herbst, the DH.
Moving right along here.
Yeah, so far, it's only been about an hour and 10 since first pitch, and we're already in the bottom of the 5th.
I'll take a well pitched game any day over a slugfest or 9 walks per guy, and you're here for 5 hours.
Well, no, we load that here in the media. First pitch by Kisting is down low to Overlay. Micah today hit by pitch in the first and flew to center in the third. And Kisting comes set. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for a strike.
And I think we saw that with Keelan's ball earlier that went for the double and the RBI. Anything hit to right gets up in that jet stream, and it's going to go. I mean, it is really blowing hard to right field.
1-1 the count to Overlay. And here it is. Curveball that didn't want to curve.
That did curve. He didn't finish that one very well.
Way outside for a 2-1 count. Should have worn my line jeans today.
Yeah?
Well, you're right in front of the space heater. 2-1 down low.
Some people call me the Space Cowboy and sit in front of the space heater. So
3-1 now as that one gets by Mason Fink. And Craig looking to do business. You wonder how big of a leash Kisting will have for this inning.
Yeah, nobody in the bullpen, but
right, here it is.
That's high.
There's one that is high, and Overlay draws a leadoff walk. So second time aboard for Overlay. Cougars get their lead runner on. And now it'll be Treston Kussmall, who had an RBI single, scored and had a stolen base back in the third Also had a fielder's choice in the first.
Walk number 4 for Kisting, and I got to believe in this situation, up a run, you certainly with 6 outs to play with, you want to add another run. So we may see Kusmal bunting here.
He's going to swing away and pops one up right field side. It's going to get out of play.
Might have been a case where Vic said, okay, I'm going to give you one swing, do something with it. If you can't, then we're going to bunt. So we'll see here what happens. But
those were some long signs.
they were a lot of signs there.
I'd be like, you lost me.
Signs everywhere, signs.
Thank you. Tesla? Whoa, there's a curveball behind the back of, and I'm not kidding, behind the back of Kusmal, and down to second is Overlay with a stolen base.
Yeah, I think you and I could have made it on that one.
Wow. And it's 1-1 now.
Well, Vic's got a question for the home plate ump. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, he's going to pinch run, get somebody with some...
pinch runner for Overlay.
Overlay runs well, but Overlay also might be the number 13 coming into the game for the Cougars.
Colin Hageman, yes.
Colin Hageman, yeah, he runs well. So that's just a move to get a little bit better speed on the bases.
So Hageman now in for Kusmal, or Overlay at second on the base path.
And still could be a bunt situation. Still in
it's 1-1.
in a good count here, 1-1, runner on second, nobody out. First baseman's way up.
So we'll see what happens. Hageman off of second. Kusmal at the plate. Kisting squares to bunt. And
took a ball
outside.
Definitely wanted to bunt there, and was looking to. All you want to do is get it down because it's tough for that first baseman to come in, set himself, and get a throw off to third. The catcher, unless it's right in front of the plate, he's not going to be able to make a play. And the first baseman, or the pitcher, he's got to come off the mound. And that Hageman runs well enough. If he gets the ball down, he should be able to make it to third. You take the sacrifice, and you got a runner in third with less than 2 outs.
2-1. Here it is. Swung on and hit back to the netting. And it's 2-2 now on Kusmal. 2-1 our score.
Now he won't be bunting.
No, in favor of the Cougars. Runner at second for Craig, and there is nobody out.
Maybe get that curveball on the outside corner and just punch it to right.
Yep.
Get that runner over somehow.
Right fielder's playing a little in. Here it is, and it's hit to right.
Gonna be
and
foul.
It's going to be foul, but is right fielder going to get to it? He cannot.
Nope.
So we'll do it again at 2-2.
Right fielder's been busy today.
Yeah, he has.
On foul balls.
Yep.
But like I say, that thing gets a hold of the wind, gets a hold of it, and it just takes off.
2-2 the count.
Treston, just put one to right.
Yep.
Just punch it to right. Even on the ground, you're okay.
And here it is. Smack to left, but right at him. But it's going to get over the head. Wow, that was a bullet over the head of Ducharme. It's going to get almost all the way to the track. Hageman comes in from second, and Kusmal with a ripping double to left field, and it will make it 3-1, Janesville Craig.
Yeah, if you're going to hit it over the left fielder's head, that's the only way you're going to do it is on a line drive, and he smoked that one.
Yep.
Left fielder stood there, looked for a minute, and then realized that ball's going over my head.
So second RBI on the day for Kusmal as Hageman comes in, and there's still nobody out. Runner on second for Ryan Herbst, the DH.
Designated hitter number 10, Ryan Herbst.
3-1 Craig.
Herbst thrown out last time up on a nice play from the shortstop, but again, will he try to bunt?
Right. Kisting comes set, and Herbst lays it down
Perfect.
First base side.
Absolutely perfect.
And there's going to need to be a play at first, and they get him as Ferguson came up, and Ray, the second baseman, went over to cover. And the sacrifice is over to third for Kusmal.
Couldn't have laid it down any better than that. Perfect bunt. First baseman's got to field it. He's got nowhere to go but first. Herbst nearly beat it out, but now again, we talked about it. Keelan, though, hit the ball hard last time up, but he may again.
Third baseman number 12, Gavin Keelan.
Problem here is it's much more difficult to pull off the squeeze with a left-handed batter because the catcher's not blocked on the guy coming in from third, whereas a right-handed hitter, you're blocking the catcher a little bit. So My guess is Keelan's just going to swing away here and try to get the ball past the infielders who are drawn in.
There's only one out. Oh, he puts one down. He pops it in the air. It goes to the pitcher. A run scores.
Yep.
And Keelan is thrown out at first, but it is now 4-1, Janesville Craig.
And that was a perfectly executed, what do they like to call that? The safety squeeze.
Yes.
Not the suicide
Nope.
squeeze, the safety squeeze, where that way if you get it down, the runner can still advance, but if you happen to miss, the runner's not caught in no man's land. And Keelan got it down. Hageman stormed in, and the Cougars have boosted it to 4-1. And with Wolfley going the way he is, I would say that the Cougs are in pretty good shape right now.
4-1 our score now for Tegan Christensen. He squares to bunt and draws back as the pitch is high and outside. So 4-1. Cougars strike for 2 in this inning on basically one hit so far. And Christensen watches that one hit the outside corner for a strike.
And again, we talked about it. It's that production up and down the lineup. Now, the 4 RBIs today have come from the 5-hitter and the 7-hitter. And when you don't have to rely on those 1, 3, 4 guys to do everything, it just makes it really difficult for opponents to try to come up with a scouting report on how to pitch to kids, because Craig is getting production up and down that lineup. They've been doing it all season, and that's why they are clearly, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state.
2-1 pitch now to Christensen. Swung on and pulls the hands in and drives it left field side into the Cougar bullpen, which is active. But the left fielder has no chance to get to it, so foul ball, and now we're at 2-2.
And we don't keep tabs. I don't keep tabs, but I would think, Wolfley's had a lot of quick innings. I don't think his pitch count's got to be necessarily very high. It just might be a matter of, he pitched Tuesday.
Yep.
Here we are Saturday. We're only in the second week of the season, really. And, we just want to give somebody else some innings and get him out of there and not overuse him.
As Kisting steps off, wind is coming
it is.
at him pretty hard out of the east.
It's not balmy. Let's put it that way.
No, it's not.
It is cold.
No, it is not.
And if Craig hangs on to win, Verona will say, we shouldn't have played. And Craig will say, yeah, we played. It wasn't that bad at all.
Maybe the wind's coming out of the south. I can't tell. I believe it's out of the south. That one misses low, and it's 3-2 now to Tegan Christensen. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Came out of his shoes, but he goes down. And that will be the inning. So 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We are through 5. It's now 4-1 Janesville Craig. Back at Riverside Park, Josh Goldberg and John Barry, and now the top of the order coming up for Verona. So if the Cougars are going to limit him to 6 outs, they got to go through everybody at the top, and it starts with Brooks Brazo.
Yeah, and he's thus far 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Scored that first inning, but remember, Wolfley fell behind him 3-0 and ended up walking him and came back to haunt him.
Wolfley with a nice pitch in the outside corner to start him for strike 1. Here's the number 2 offering. Same spot, but this time it's a ball.
But really, that's about the only hiccup on my scorebook for Mr. Wolfley. He has been in command.
Verona's put the ball in play, not many strikeouts.
No.
I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3.
And Craig, defensively, let's face it, the outfield, Kusmal, Hughes, and Christensen, those 3 can all run, very well.
There's a looper over second, and that's a base hit for Brazo, and that's his second base hit.
And if you look at the infield, you got Keelan at third, who's committed to Louisville. Blomgren at short, who's committed to Michigan. Hessling is going to play at Lake Country JUCO and next year, and Overly's going to play at MSOE. So, the Cougars are well represented defensively.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit to right center. Back on it is Hughes, and he will make the catch, and Brazo has to go back to first. So there's 1 out as James Ray is retired, and now Ryan Taylor, the shortstop, will be the batter.
And that's the one thing about Verona is, if you're trying to get Wolfley out of there, you're likely to take some pitches to get his pitch count up there. But they've stayed aggressive. There's the first pitch there swung by Ray, and Craig with an out.
And outside corner, a strike. After that first inning, he has hit that pretty consistently.
And he's gotten it for a strike. I don't think he got it, especially the first batter. I don't think he got that call, but now that he's stayed there, the ump's been more consistent to call that.
Here's the 0-1 off the end of the bat. Foul left field side and out of play into the Cougar bullpen, which is no longer active.
No, I think this is Mitchell's game, and I think Vic, just by getting, I believe it was Overly that was warming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's their number 2 and hasn't pitched this week at all because they've only had one game. And, you know, it may be just you want to get him a little bit of work.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, and Taylor goes down as Wolfley comes back and punches his 4th man out. And now the batter will be John Ferguson, the first baseman.
Yeah, that was just overpowering. Here it is, and hit it, and Taylor couldn't catch up.
Ferguson today has a single, was stranded at 3rd, and he also grounded to short. 2 down, and a 4-1 lead for Craig.
Yeah, you give Wolfley a 4-1 lead in the 6th inning with 6 outs to get. I like my chances.
Yeah. Starts him off with the ball. 1-0. Here it is. Oh, just waved at that one and fouled it back to the screen.
Kind of interesting, though, that Eric Schmolt, the Gazette sports editor, was talking about, you know, Wolfley after he threw against Parker, talking, you know, he's got to leave about a week after high school graduation to go join the Air Force in boot camp.
Yep. So,
you know, a lot of kids are enjoying that summer off in between senior year and your first year of college, and Mitch is going to spend his summer at boot camp. So, you know.
A little quick schedule, but, I mean, if they go to the state tournament, I mean, that's after graduation. Then what?
Yeah, then he said he's got like 4 days before he'd have to report. So, but, I mean, what a great experience. And, you know, pretty cool. You can serve your country and play ball and, you know, get a great education out of it as well. So,
2-1 pitch. Tails inside, and it's 3-1 now on Ferguson. And the runner at first still Brooks Brazo. 2 down. Ferguson ahead in the count. Wolfley comes set and to the plate. There's a strike right over the middle. And it's full now.
Good to see that Janesville and Beloit have collaborated, and we will have Legion Baseball again this summer. Yep, the Rock County River Monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the nickname. And
we're over to first.
Talking to Scott Huffman and Bob Shank, who are kind of the co-authors of it, so to speak. Right. You know, they've got they'll pick from Beloit Turner, which is always a good program. Yes. Some kids coming back, Beloit Memorial, Parker, Craig.
Okay.
There's talk of maybe grabbing an Edgerton kid.
3-2 pitch, backhanded. Nice pick by Keelan at 3rd. Strong throw over to 1st, and the side is retired. Finish that thought when we come back. Yep. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left for Verona. We go to the bottom of the 6th here at Riverside. It's 4-1, Janesville Craig. New pitcher for Verona here in the bottom of the 6th as Sam Pedersen comes in from right, and he will throw to Jacob Hessling, Eric Hughes, and Clark Schmaling. And Kisting, close the book on him. He goes out to right to replace Pedersen, so even swap. And
most of the time I would say, you know, Kisting's line today is going to be good enough in most games, but when you're playing a team like Craig, not the case. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, they were all earned. Walk 4, struck out 2. Again, not a bad line, not a great line, just kind of an average line, but when you're not playing an average team, when you're playing a really good team, it's got to be better than that, especially the 4 walks.
So Patterson taking some extra warm-up throws. Craig next week will play Parker on Monday, and then the Cougars have 2 big games against Sun Prairie. First one will be home on Tuesday, so 2 back-to-back games at Riverside.
Yep.
Then they hit the road for the Cardinals facility on Thursday, and then a non-conference game at Burlington on Saturday.
Yeah, and
which is always a top program.
My guess is, you know, with Parker on Monday, they'll go with Overly, come back with that Sun Prairie game on Tuesday. Certainly Wolfley won't be ready, so it'll either be Hughes or Keelan. My guess is probably Hughes, and then you can come back with Wolfley the second game against Sun Prairie next Thursday. Again, weather permitting.
Yep. Patterson's first pitch is a little bit of a 3-quarter delivery inside to Hessling for ball 1.
And again, a little different look now for the Cougars because he comes out of the windup.
Yep. And a hard thrower. 1-0 pitch. And again, high and inside. 2-0 on Hessling. Hessling has walked twice and been stranded at second twice. And here it is. There's the strike.
Actually hit by a pitch the first time. And
then, did I not mark hit by pitch?
Yep, walked the second time, but still, I mean, on the base twice, and that's what you want out of your number 9 hitters, to get on base. That hit him again.
Jeez. Okay, so he gets hit for the second time. And Coach Herb said in our interview about free passes and not giving up guys. I think the ratio right now of the total coming into the game was they have gotten on base with Walker hit by pitch for 44 times.
Jeepers, that's a lot.
Between what they've walked and hit by pitch, that is only 12.
Perfect bunt.
Bunt laid down by Hughes as Pedersen makes the play. Hessling over to second, and there is one out. So their ratio of getting guys on in that situation and not allowing opponents on is almost 4-1.
Right. And again, that's what good teams do. You know, you get guys on base, you take advantage, you move them around, and again, when you're getting production up and down the lineup like the Cougars have been thus far this season, you don't worry so much about where you're at in the lineup. And there's a case where, you know, if Craig's not getting anything from the bottom of the order, Hughes probably doesn't bunt there because you want your good hitters to get their at-bats and not give one up. But because they're getting that production, Hughes lays down a sacrifice. You got a runner at second now with your 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up.
So Clark Schmaling at the plate. Schmaling has reached base once on a walk, and then he was thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice. He's grounded to second, and he's also flied out to left. He's behind 0-1. Runner at second is Hessling. And that one on the outside corner for strike 2. So 0-2 now to the Cougar catcher. Clark Schmaling. Dan Blomgren is due next. One out here in the inning.
Never hurts to tack on a run or two.
Nope. Here's the 0-2. Just missed the outside corner. 1-2 now.
And I don't know when the Cougars play Verona again. I haven't looked at the schedule, but
can tell you.
I think because they play in the same sectional, it may be a case where, you know what?
Verona's no longer in their sectional.
It is. Okay,
So
well then I really would be surprised if Clawwater didn't throw the second time that they saw him, because a lot of times teams, we saw that with Beloit Memorial a couple years ago when Betancourt did pitch against Craig during the regular season and then beat him in the tournament. And that's what teams will do sometimes. You just don't want you don't want them to see your best.
2-2 pitch, and that is roped to left. Back on it is Ducharme. He's got it, and a throw back to second holds the runner. They don't play Verona again at Stanfield Field until May 4th.
May 4th, so a couple weeks away. And again, I'd be surprised if Clawwater didn't go that game. I'm surprised he didn't go today, but you know, we don't know why. I mean, there could be many reasons why he's not pitching today.
So here's Blomgren, 2 for 2, and a pop-up to the shortstop. And he's going to get a free pass. So an intentional walk to Dan Blomgren. And now there's runners on first and second for Overly.
First baseman number 16, Micah Overly.
I get it. I don't get it. You know, I get it in the sense that, you know, he's probably their best hitter, but with 2 outs and a righty-righty matchup, now you're all of a sudden you're putting another run on base. You're already down 3, and now you got a lefty-righty matchup with Overly batting left-handed. So for Craig's sake, you know, you hope that it backfires on him, and Verona just doesn't want to deal with Blomgren's bat.
So 1-0. And here it is. Again, missing outside. 2-0 on Overly.
Great hitters count for Overly here. 2-0. You know he doesn't want to go 3-0 on you with runners on first and second. So whether he has a take sign, I don't know. But if it's there, I would drive it.
There's one right down the middle for a strike. 2-1. 2 outs. Runner at second is Jacob Hessling. At first is Dan Blomgren.
Big gap for Overly in right center as well. I mean, hit the ball on a dime and on a line, and it's going to score both runs, especially with the way Blomgren runs.
And Overlay calls time as Pedersen taking too much time there on the mound. So 4-1 our score. Craig looking to get another one. That one just graces the outside corner for a strike. And it's 2-2 now on Micah Overlay.
And that's that spot that he, like we talked about, since the first inning has been calling consistently at that.
It has.
Yep.
2-2. Down the middle. Overlay swings and pops it up foul. Out of play over the Cougar dugout. And we'll do it again at 2-2.
Usually guys don't want to go after the foul balls. You want somebody else.
Yep.
But on a day like this,
Nobody-
Coach, I got it.
Nobody,
Yep, I'll go get it.
Nobody wants to move. 2-2. Here comes Pedersen. Down low. And it's 3-2 now. Runners should be moving on the pitch. 2 down. And the pitch to Micah. There they go, and he fists one to third and snagged by Nick West at third, runs over and beats Hessling to the bag for the third out. So for the Cougars, no runs. They get no hits, no errors, but 2 men left. We head to the top of the 7th. It's still 4-1, Janesville Craig. Josh Goldberg and John Barry back for the top of the 7th here at Riverside, and it's a 4-1 score between Janesville Craig and Verona. And the Wildcats will send up their 5, 6, 7 batters as Wolfley's still on to try and finish him out here.
Why not?
Yep.
Why not?
Here's
Let
the
him
first
finish.
pitch, and it swung on and popped up infield. And Blomgren calling for it, and wow, needs to almost do a little pirouette as it went out a little bit farther than he thought it might. But there's one quick out on one pitch.
Yeah, since the first inning when Wolfley gave up the run that started with that leadoff walk, really, set the side down order in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Gave up a hit that was erased quickly in the 3rd. Last inning gave up a leadoff hit that didn't amount to anything. So really total command since that first inning, and I'm not surprised.
1-0, and now it's 2-0 on Jacob Kisting.
Talking about Sun
right.
Prairie, we talked last Saturday they were playing Kimberly, who certainly has been one of the top programs the last 5 years as well, and I think they split.
There's a hit to center. Hughes is on it, ranging to his left, and there's 2 up and 2 down as Kisting flies out.
So,
All right.
Sun Prairie's still formidable.
Sure.
I don't think as strong as they've been. I still think the Big 8 Conference is the Cougars to lose, and I think the road to the title, so to speak, still goes through Riverside Park, but they're going to get tested again next week. There's no doubt about that.
Sam Pedersen stands in and starts with a strike on the inside corner. Verona down to their final out.
Wolfley got a lot of love after the Parker game. I may have to find somebody else to talk to, maybe somebody in the stands or, one of the parents or something. I don't want to get the kid too much credit.
Since he's only heading to a Division I school.
Exactly, yeah.
1-1 is the last one just missed, and here it is, and that one's down low
Maybe
for
I
a ball.
can talk to Ben Yacher and see what it was like coaching first today with the wind blowing in his face. And
Seriously. 2-1 count now. Here comes Wolfley, overthrows that one, and it's low and outside to Sam Pedersen, who's now on to pitch, or at least did in the previous inning.
Wolfley looking to end it with a flamethrower.
Right.
That one got away from a little
3-1. There's a ground ball to Blomgren.
bit.
Gets on his knees,
long
backhands,
throw,
long throw,
bang.
and he got him, and this game is over. Nice play by Blomgren to end it. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Verona. Final score on this one, Janesville Craig 4, Verona 1. We'll wrap it up here at Riverside.